Good afternoon and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel. I am a home educating mum of 4. I currently home educate 2 of my children. I have 1 in school and 1 at college. Today is going to be a curriculum picks video for my 7-year-old. Obviously I'm doing this kind of halfway through the year, but this is what we are using this year. So let's start. This is sort of an overview. We've got an English or language arts, as some of you call it, geography, science, mathematics and history. Okay, let's start with English. Okay, so for English this year we are mainly using The Good and the Beautiful. We've used The Good and the Beautiful since she was 4 years old. She'll be 8 in a couple of weeks. This has worked extraordinarily well for my little girl. She is autistic and has ADHD, PDA profile, the whole lot, and she loves it. It's very interactive, it's very lovely, there's lots for her to do, lots for her to get physical with, so she really enjoys The Good and the Beautiful. So we're using the level 2 language arts, which she's really enjoying. And to go along with that, we have the reading booster C cards. These are lovely. I've done a flick through video on my channel showing just how lovely they are. So they're really fun. We're also using the spelling rules flashcards just to back up what she's learning within the curriculum. The level 2 grade 2 course is equivalent to English year 3, but apparently is pitched a bit higher. But if you're looking to do equivalents, this would be year 3. But very good. And then she is currently reading this book, which is dyslexia friendly. There's a whole section in Waterstone's bookshop. It's got wider line spacing, wider word spacing and yellow backed pages. It says on it that it's a dyslexia friendly and comes from the dyslexia friendly section within Waterstones. So it's well worth looking in there if you've got a reluctant reader or a child with dyslexia, to see if these books help. And there's a whole series of the dyslexia friendly in different stories. And then we're also doing, we're a bit late doing it, we did start it just before Christmas, a book study on A Christmas Carol. So we read, this is by Chatty Zebra Curriculum. We paid minimal for this. She had an offer on, I think I paid about £2.50. And it's great. It's really interactive. It's really fun. There's lots of, activities to do. You're learning all about the Victorians, about where Christmas trees came from. You make decorations, gingerbread. We haven't got far enough through this yet, but we will finish it. Carol singing, and obviously the beginning bit where we have worked in, I promise we have worked in this, we haven't, but she's a reluctant writer, so we don't do a lot of writing unless I'm helping her out, is you read a section of the book and then you go through the curriculum and tie it together. And then what we do is we then watch a portion of a Muppets Christmas Carol, which ties in very closely, even with the narration, etc. It's great. So we just do a bit of this, we then do, we read the book, do a bit of this, then we watch Muppets Christmas Carol, and she finds that quite funny. I printed this out myself. As you can see, I have tied it with yarn just to hold it all together. But they are lovely curriculums, and she has so many curriculums and different things. I have one on Encanto, which is, so it shows you about the film, but it also shows you all about where the film is based and their culture, and it's just lovely. So I thoroughly recommend the Chatty Zebra curriculums. Okay, so let's move on to maths. So for maths, we are using the Good and the Beautiful Maths 2. This again is equivalent to year 3 in England. The curriculums are colourful and beautiful, and they also include looking at art and all sorts of different things. They're very interactive, very physical, which suits my daughter down to the ground. You can buy it as a set with the book and the math set that goes with it, which has got the manipulatives in it. We don't tend to use the American money. We use Little Banker. The coins are a very good replica of UK coins. They're from Learning Resources. It's actually a game, but we just use it as when I change the money in the American curriculum to English money. So they're very good. We use those a lot. We also use the stuff that we got from the original Math K that she used when she was about 5. We still use all sorts from this box. We've got dice, we use the blocks, we use the shape pieces. We store a lot of things in here that we use on the daily. We use this all the time. So I'd recommend that if you have older maths boxes from the Good and the Beautiful, don't get rid of them. They're so useful for upper levels, for different activities and using different things. But again, we really enjoy the Good and the Beautiful Maths. And then to go along with that, we have a base 10 set, which we use a lot. They give you cutout base 10s to use, but I find with my daughter and her being neurodivergent, she really enjoys manipulatives. So we use this particular base 10 set. I thoroughly recommend it. It's very sturdy. I've read reviews of some of them where they've got like a hole, like, you know, they're not whole all the way around, but these are solid. So they're really good. And she is so good at her place value just from the Good and the Beautiful and using this base 10 set. This base 10 set is by edX Education. I actually got this from Amazon. I think it was about £30. Worth every penny. This is such a good base 10 set. So yeah, thoroughly recommend this to go along with it. And then the other thing we use a lot is these geometric shapes, because obviously you're doing shapes all the way through, but when you get to the sort of the solid shapes, this shape set is really good because the shapes are wooden and they're really solid and they're very tactile, very soft in your child's hand, and really help them visualize the different shapes that they're learning in the curriculum. There's only so much you know, cutting out a net or looking at a flat shape with, you know, the dotted lines trying to show that it's 3D can give you when you've actually got the 3D shape in your hand. It's much better, and these are absolutely wonderful. You get 11, I think, in this set. It's by Bose, and again, I got this from Amazon. I think this was £11 or £11.99. We have used this so much. We use this all the time. And again, she really enjoys it because it's tactile and soft and nice in her hand and solid. So yeah, thoroughly recommend this. But that's essentially what we use for maths. We just use this curriculum and then all of these sort of manipulatives to, you know, bring it to life, give her something to touch and handle and be physical with, which is what she really you know, enjoys. So yeah, thoroughly recommend this. Then history, we were using the CGP books for earlier years, so sort of history within living memory, history outside of living memory, but we've now gone on to using CGP, which we've used with the other children. At the moment, we're starting with Ancient Greeks. So we've got the study book and the activity book. And then we've got a physical set to go with it to make it a bit more interactive, a bit more fun. This is from Mysteries in Time. And it just helps to sort of liven it up a bit. And then when we've found something that she's particularly interested in, we'll go onto YouTube and watch a video about it, maybe horrible histories, or that's what we've been using for previous history curriculums we've done. And they've very much enjoyed it. When we do the A Christmas Carol, we have gone on there and learned about different things with the Victorians using horrible histories, and we also did a Chatty zebra curriculum for bonfire night, and we learned all about bonfire night, about Guy Fawkes. And after we'd done the curriculum, we then went on and watched the horrible histories and other like BBC bite-sized learning about bonfire night. So she quite enjoys learning, sort of doing her learning in the book, and using manipulatives to make it all a bit more physical, and then going onto YouTube and watching a video. So she finds that quite fun. So we're not doing a huge heavy amount of history at the moment. She's only 7, so we're just sort of touching on it and moving on. If she's not in the mood, then we don't do it. I don't want to force her to do extra learning if she's not really in the mood. Her interests lie more in geography and science than they do in history. My older ones both enjoy history more than geography. So I just tend to try and introduce it a little bit so she sort of gets an idea of history. So that's why we did the Collins books before. But these are all available on Amazon. Again, not very much. I think they're about £5 each for the books. So well worth using. Okay, and science, we are using the Good and the Beautiful Space Science. We've just been working through the marine biology, and she has really enjoyed marine biology so far, but we have put it to one side for a minute because she is absolutely obsessed with space and planets and stars. So we took her to the market hall in Plymouth, where they have a dome. And in the dome, you lay back on beanbags and basically have a video playing around you. And this one was of the planets. And as the planets, you feel like you're there. It's amazing. So we went to watch that because we knew we were going to do space science. And we took her to see, it was the film was called Vast, obviously because of the vastness of space. And she is absolutely enamored. She loves it. So we've started doing space. She blows my mind. She knows so many facts about space already. She can tell me the planets from photos with no labelling. She can tell me the order they go in. She knows how big the universe is. She knows how big the galaxy is. She knows what the name of the biggest black hole is. And that's all before we started doing space science. So, and the curriculum itself is just adding to it. I've done a full flick through on my channel of space science. So this is the unit study, and it is very bright and colourful and interactive. She really enjoys it. And then to go with it, she has her student journal, and that's for grades 3 to 6. Technically she would be grade 2, but this is nothing out of her capabilities. So she really enjoys that. Sometimes we do partnership writing. We have EDS as a family, so writing isn't something any of us find particularly fun because it hurts our joints. So sometimes we do partnership writing, and she tells me what she wants to write and I write it down for her. Sometimes she takes over and does the writing, and sometimes she'll write it on a whiteboard, with her whiteboard pen, and I'll copy it off of there. She enjoys writing on a whiteboard far more than she enjoys writing on a paper with a pencil. And we use the whiteboard for maths all the time. She really enjoys that. So yeah, that's what we're doing for science at the moment. And then I also have mammals, the science unit, lined up for when we finish space science, because we tend to go through them quite quickly. So I'll do a video on the mammals curriculum and show you what comes with that. We also have quite a few books and resources to go with space science. Actually, let me just grab them. So to go with the space science, we have a little projector, and it has slides that fit into it, and you just project it against the wall, and it shows you beautiful photographs of the solar system, the individual planets and moons. That was from Timu, and it's absolutely brilliant. We also have a set of planets. These are like squishy balls. Again, as she likes to be tactile, so I'm just trying to get the bag open. Bear with me one second. So these are like squishy balls, but it helps when we're lining up the planets, or we're studying a particular planet and she likes to have something to hold and play with. These were also from Timu. My son actually bought them for us. He saw them when he was on there. And these are like oilcloth pictures. They're only black and white, and some of them, but they're lovely. So we also use these. These are also from Timu. Helps really sort of bring it to life when I sort of say to her, oh, can you find whichever planet, and then she'll go and find it. And we also have solar system, a big solar system print on the wall, so she can look at it. We got this book from The Good and the Beautiful to back up their curriculum. Again, it's beautiful, informative. I forgot to include this on my flick through video, but we did buy this as well. So it will tell you to refer to one of the books, and then we'll refer to the book. And then we also bought, we got this one. It's an activity book about space. A Dorling Kinsley book about space. And then my absolute favourite one we bought was this one, The Sea Inside the Solar System, an Usborne book. So this is my absolute favourite. And it's got little pop-ups and bits. Anything that makes it interactive for her is great. So this book is absolutely beautiful, and I think this was £10.99 in Waterstones, but I only paid 99p because I'd saved up my Waterstones points from other purchases and used them to buy this book, so I only actually paid 99p for it. But it is lovely. So, and again, we'll watch videos, and we went to see Vast, and we tried to make it as engaging and interesting as possible, but she absolutely loves the solar system. So doing this while the planet alignment's been on and things like that has been really fun. Okay, and the last subject is geography. So we have, again, the CGP Geography study book and activity book. This just sort of gives you a basic overview, age appropriately, of where they should be learning in geography. This is years 3 to 4. She's kind of halfway through year 3. She's okay with this, but she prefers the other things we do, which are more interactive. So where is that? So we have been reading this book, The Boy Who Biked the World, and we're doing this with her older brother. So we read a chapter of the book, and then we then go to our notebook, and we learn about the country that he's visited. So for example, France, we drew the flag, and then we learned about the capital, points of interest, how many people live there, what money they have, what language they speak, what they're famous for, and then we learn a set of words to go with it. And they tend to be the words that he's learning, the boy in the book is learning for every country that he visits. and then we also have an atlas, and we have a beautiful map book that we use, and we find all about the country using those, and we watch some YouTube videos about the country, and she's really enjoying that, and they really enjoy getting the beautiful map books out that we've got and finding the country and finding out all the facts. So I read it to them, and then they do all the research, and then we write it in their little journals that we've got. And this seems to be a very engaging way for them to learn geography and learn actually about countries and you know, people and actual human geography, rather than it being, you know, rocks and things. Not I'm opposed to learning about rocks, but we will do that at some point. There's a lovely geology curriculum at the Good and the Beautiful, which we will get to. But right now, this is engaging for a 7 to 8 year old. She enjoys doing this. She enjoys hearing the story, enjoys hearing where the little boy's got to on his journey on his bicycle. There is 3 books in this series. This is the first book. And yeah, they really enjoy this. It's really fun. And then along with that, I got these from Fiddlesticks Education on Etsy. They're watercolour maps that she has painted. And you get like the blank ones. And then she's given the cutouts, and then you have to place them in the right place, all the continents and the oceans. So I printed this out and laminated it. And she knows all her continents. She knows, she can look at a map and tell you which continent's which ocean's which. So this is lovely. She really enjoys doing this. It's one of her favourite things to do. We also have a big map of the world on the wall that she enjoys looking at. And every time we hear something, if we're watching something or we're reading something, when we hear something about a country, we find it on the wall. So recently when it was all over the news about Donald Trump wanting to buy Greenland, we found it on the wall and we learnt all about it. So that was just a really fun way that there's always that for them to reference on the wall when they want it. So yeah, she enjoys this. And then the last thing we have is, we got this from the Good and the Beautiful. Bear with me, I'll get them out. These are European geography cards from the Good and the Beautiful. And they show you a country. And then I mainly do this with her older brother, but she does enjoy joining in. And I'll just say to him, which country is this? He'll tell me. And I'll ask him the capital city and he'll tell me. And then the answer card's behind it, just in case he doesn't know, or she doesn't know. And this goes, sorry, I have an out frame. And this goes all the way through Europe, which I think is great. So, and for each one, I'll say to them, what country is that? And what's its capital? And sometimes I'll ask them what language they speak. And it's just a really good way for them to recognise on the map where different countries are, and especially in the relation to the UK where we live. So it really sort of gets them thinking about, you know, what countries are we close to, what countries are we not close to, which countries speak English, and that kind of thing. We're currently learning French as a family on Duolingo. And that's really fun. My son's very proud of himself. He has a streak of 120 days. My streak is just over 4 years. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm really pleased the children are enjoying it as well. So yeah, so we go through these, and sometimes I'll do a pop quiz with her older brother, where I'll list out countries on the whiteboard that we've got on the wall. We've got a giant whiteboard on the wall, and I'll just write down all the countries that we've learnt so far. And then he'll come along and write down their capitals, or he'll tell me the capitals and I'll write them down. And that's great. He knows about 55 to 60 countries and their capitals at the moment, and random facts about each country. So it's just a fun way of doing it. And then they've also got the same for you know, other countries and continents, and we're learning these as well at the moment. So oceans. So yeah. So that's just a fun way of including geography and making it a bit more interactive and a bit more fun and a little bit less dry than just doing book learning. She really enjoys this. She really enjoys it when I get the cards out and I'll sort of say, oh, which country is this? And some of the ones that she's not so good at because, you know, they're not so common. But if I show her one with England or Ireland or France or Spain or Germany, she generally gets that right, so that's pretty good. Yeah, so that's what we use for geography. And obviously, like I said, we've got the big map books and atlases that we use as well. The map book is absolutely beautiful. It's the deluxe map book. You can get it on Amazon. It's about £20 to £25, and each page is gorgeous. I'll just grab it. So we use a generalized world family atlas. And this is lovely. It's very detailed. So this is what my older one tends to use more, but the younger one uses it as well. It's lovely. That's a really nice atlas. I think I paid £5 for that in WH Smith's. It was on a crazy offer. And then this one is just gorgeous. It's not got every country in it, but we do tend to back up with other books from the library. But the illustrations are just gorgeous and so beautiful for children. And when you get to a country, it tells you all about that country in the most lovely way. So it tells you, you know, the animals and fish, and tells you about their, you know, this one is Iceland, so it's got the volcanoes and the glaciers, and it's got important buildings that you might have heard of, and yeah, it is just gorgeous. And then it gives you some facts about the country. So it is just lovely. We do very much enjoy using this. We also have the UK version of this book. Again, just beautiful illustrations. Because we've been learning about the UK as well. We've been learning about just reading the book and learning about all the different counties and where they are in comparison to each other, and how close they are to where we live in the southwest. And yeah, but this book is just lovely. It just gives you so much information, but in such a child-led friendly way. So they very much enjoy using that. So yeah, so that's mainly what we're using. Like I said, we're also using Duolingo to learn French. So she's doing some language as well. And when we're in the car, I'll often speak to them in some French, and then see if they understand what I'm saying. So that's quite fun. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. Thank you very much.